right, all right. You know, it's Monday night. Us guys and some gals certainly understand and know about what happens on Monday night. During this time of the year, it is Monday Night Football. Now, I'm doing Facebook Live tonight on Monday Night Football, even with my beloved Saints play, and I'm only going to take just a few minutes. And tonight, my talk is in honor of what I call the GOAT, the greatest of all time, my favorite player to ever play for New Orleans Saints, the quarterback, Drew Brees. And he's playing tonight with a very good chance he'll break the all-time passing yards record. Absolutely my favorite, and I believe I make a strong case on why he's the greatest of all time. So I'm going to talk to you about 5 reasons why I think he's the greatest of all time. And let me tell you how this can apply to us, because all 5 of these can fit to help us to be the best at what we do. I'm not saying we'll be the greatest of all time, but we can be better than what we are if we'll apply these 5 things that I've learned from, I believe, the greatest of all time, the Drew Brees, the quarterback of the New Orleans Saints. So here's the first one I want to mention to you, is that he's been a very, very productive player. He's been a winner. He's won at every level. He won at the high school level. He went on to play at Purdue. He won a Rose Bowl playing at Purdue. And at the NFL level, he'll retire with almost every significant passing record. And here's just a few of them. Most passing yards, he'll break that record most likely tonight, passing Peyton Manning. Just think about it. In the history of the NFL, he'll pass for more yards than anybody. And he still has several years to go the way you look at how he's playing. So most passing yards, most completions, highest completion rate, which means he's the most accurate passer ever in football, the most 5,000 yards passing in a season. He threw a touchdown pass in 54 consecutive games, breaking the great legendary Johnny Unitas at 48 games. And then, now this one is a little bit iffier, but I believe he'll retire with the most touchdown passes of all time. It's going to come down to Tom Brady and Drew Brees. So again, the first one is he's been super productive and he's a winner. So that's the first one that I believe that makes him the greatest of all time. And for us, we need to be productive and we need to be winners in what we do. And so a second one, I would say he's transformational. You know, when he came to be the quarterback of the New Orleans Saints, they didn't even know if the Saints were going to make it. That was right after Hurricane Katrina. I was living in Louisiana at that time. You're talking about devastation. It was a good possibility that the Saints were going to move to San Antonio, and they would be now called the San Antonio Saints. I'm so glad that didn't happen. But Drew Brees became the face of the franchise. Not only did he transform that franchise, the New Orleans Saints team, where they won a Super Bowl because of him, but I believe he transformed the city of New Orleans. Now, not many guys in sports or gals in sports can say they're transformational. How can we be transformational? And that's by being transcending, being bigger than life, that we make such a big difference. It's bigger than a project or a product or something. It's transformational. Not many people get an opportunity to do that, but think about how you could be transformational in what you do. And the third thing about Drew Brees, to me, that makes him the greatest of all time is his overcoming adversity, his perseverance. It's incredible. Small for a quarterback. He's under 6 foot. The average quarterback in the NFL is 6'3", 6'4", and many of them are 6'5" and 6'6". Very small in stature. He overcame an injury in his 5th year that Dr. James Andrews, probably the most world-renowned orthopedic surgeon, said it was about a 75% chance that it would end his career. He'd never play again. He overcame that. Tremendous perseverance. Someone that overcame great adversity. What about you? Do you persevere? Do you overcome adversity, or do you wilt under those times of crisis, under adversity? So that's the third one. And then number 4, a guy of incredible character. I've never heard one negative thing that he's ever done, one thing that he's done to embarrass his team, embarrass his family, embarrass his community. He's a person of high character. He's a great husband. He's a great friend, a teammate, and he's a great dad. A person of high character. What about you? Can that be said about you, that you're a person of high character? I believe that's one of the things about Drew Brees, a characteristic about him that makes him the greatest of all time. You've had more talented quarterbacks maybe, but their character didn't match up to Drew Brees. And then number 5, and I'll end on this one because I'm making it short because I'm going to get back and start watching the second quarter of the game, all right? So excuse me a little bit. We're going to cut it short. But I think these are powerful points that you can look at in your own life. So here's the 5th one. He's what I call a force multiplier. And what I mean by a force multiplier is when someone can come into an organization, or in this case, come to a team, and just by his force, he multiplies everybody else on the team to be better. He has the ability to extend others' capability. He brings out the best in others. Very, very few people. That's called legacy leadership. Someone that can do that. It's not just their ability to play their position or do their job, but they make everybody else on the team better. And those are the 5 reasons that I would give you tonight to say that's why I believe that the greatest of all time, the GOAT, is Drew Brees, although quite underrated in my opinion. So think about yourself. How do you match up in these 5 characteristics? And then I want you to think about, for a football trivia, who would be your greatest of all time quarterback in the NFL? Post that. We'll have a little contest on that. I'm posting Drew Brees. Who's with me on Drew Brees? If you've got another one, put it out there. There's been a lot of great ones. I put Drew Brees at the top. If this helped you tonight, let me encourage you. Share it with some others. Hit the share button, and that'll send it to some others. Do that if you would. And listen, I'm going to keep leading well. You do that as we lead well during this week. And I hope you have a great week. Take care.